I completed my field experience with Dr. Jeremy Dickerson, Professor and Coordinator for Instructional Technology Graduate Programs at Coastal Carolina University in Conway, South Carolina. The purpose or goal of this field experience was to help analyze and evaluate the current EDIT 690 capstone course in the master's degree track and contribute materials to help improve the course and help students at the same time. When this project was presented to me, I was immediately interested in taking it on. I serve as an adjunct professor at a neighboring institution, and I know that teaching at the college level is something that I enjoy and could possibly like to pursue in the future. I saw this project as something that could benefit me in the future by giving me first-hand knowledge of how things work and what is expected of professors and of courses. So when I was given the opportunity to work with Dr. Dickerson on the 690 course, I jumped at it. I knew it was a chance to gain valuable insight into the inner workings of class creation and improvement while, at the same time, allowing me to give back something to a program that means a lot to me. The field experience itself was going to be done completely online, using email as the main mode of conversation, with phone conversations as needed. I knew this would present some unique obstacles to overcome since I was not going to be doing any teaching, just creating of content. The very beginning of this project started the phone conversation between myself and Dr. Dickerson, when we both share our goals for the course and for this field experience. Since he was my supervisor for the experience and this goal was to improve the course from an instructor standpoint, the conversation served as my needs assessment. He wanted to improve the course by means of evaluating what was already in place, then using that information to improve the course with new ideas and new products. We created a general outline to go by, and from there he gave me a starting point of editing the current course, something to get my feet wet and something to get me accustomed to the content once again. I knew that Dr. Dickerson wanted to make the course as user-friendly and as accessible as possible, so I spent the next few weeks going over all the documentation, including the syllabus, coursework schedule, assignments, and everything else in the class, and editing them so that they could be used course after course with minimal overhauling by the instructor other than updating the deadlines and due dates and things of that nature. After completing the edits, I completed the Quality Assurance Inventory, or the QAI, to ensure that the course edits and the documentation in the course itself are up to CCU standards of excellence. This required me to look at every piece of the class and align it to standards outlined in the QAI. Once this step was completed, I started to develop ideas that I thought might help the current students as they started the 690 course. One of the ideas I had was to require the students to present their introduction as a video artifact instead of a discussion forum. This would allow the students to get experience in the front of the camera, but also serve as help them see what cameras were good and which cameras were not so good to record the TTEs. Lots of students assume their smartphones are sufficient when they really are not, so this small project would allow them to see that early enough in the process to correct the mistakes. A second idea I had and presented to him was to have students do an interview of an instructional technology leader so they could have insight into what the career was actually about. So they could have that to help them prepare for the career and future plan part of the portfolio. Many times this is the hardest artifact to create since most students have very little first-hand knowledge about the jobs. So I presented these ideas and others to Dr. Dickerson, and from this conversation about my ideas for the small additions to the course was born the plan of the big projects which finalized my experience. We decided that it would be more helpful to the students if I created 4 multimedia presentations in the form of 2 videos and 2 PowerPoints to serve as guides for the TTE and the portfolios. This vision was to present insights and tips as a former master's student, someone who has been in their place and understands what they are going through and how they are feeling. After some research, several takes, and a few edits, I presented my final products to him. In the end, I created 4 multimedia products that were ready for introduction to the next round of EDIT 690. These are some examples.
The second obstacle I encountered was just what I was going to base my TTE on. What technology could I possibly build a project on? Again, look to those around you. Take the pulse of your school. What technologies are currently in place at your school?
This experience was strenuous and tiring, but it was satisfying. Knowing that I created products that would help others avoid some of the pitfalls that I had to endure made this all worth it. Seeing this course in the eyes of an instructor was difficult at first, but by the end it was easy. I was able to put myself into both roles, and I'm satisfied with the final product.